American dad and your candidate for Congress here in the Michigan Senate. I'm so glad that we're here in the Student Union, a place that was so important to me when I was on MSU's campus, a place that we celebrated wins and losses with friends, but also a place that was hit by a tragedy last year. My son was walking into the Union when the shots rang out. And he called me in that chaos. And I don't think I ever really understood fear until you hear shouting in the background, your kid gets back to their dorm room, and he asks you what the barricade under their door. It was the scariest night of my life. And at 2 o'clock in the morning, I was one of the lucky ones that got to go pick up my kid. Not every parent was able to do that. But this campus, these students, took a great tragedy and went to work. They marched down to the Capitol building, demanding gun safety, reasonable gun safety laws. And while in the past people had marched and heard thoughts and prayers, what they got was action. They showed the power of the vote, the power of marching, the power of fighting. And I think that's why we have such a good story to tell in Michigan. Michigan has a good story to tell because you look at where we were just 8 years ago. I got elected to the state senate. We had 11 Democrats in the state senate. We had less members than the Wu-Tang Clan, Congress in Delaware. And we built a majority here in Michigan. And winning is fun, but it's more important what you do with it. I was a campaign chair that helped group candidates to build that majority, and worked alongside Governor Whitmer to make sure that happened. But I was tripled it out of the Senate, and the governor asked me to be her legislative director. And in 6 months, we ended the 1931 abortion law. Expanded in history on people's right to work and making full work. We passed the largest investment in education in history, the largest tax cuts for working families. We did all that, brought jobs back home, and passed gun safety laws for the first time in Michigan history. What I can tell you is that Washington, D.C. could learn a little bit from a little bit of Michigan grit, a little bit of Michigan know-how, and a little bit of Michigan work together. We need to elect leaders that will protect our freedoms, lower taxes for working families, cut prescription drug costs, and bring jobs back home. We need to make sure that we all know what's at stake in election. I know you all know this, you're here. So let's just say this. I'm running against a guy who wants to ban abortions nationwide, no exceptions. Is that what we want in this country? And J.D. Vance was just here in Michigan. 650 jobs in my district. He called them table scraps. And he said that he wants that he can't keep the promises to those 650 people. They're not table scraps if it's the money that puts the food on your table. We need to send a message back to Washington, D.C. that we need reasonable humans. Forget Democrats for a second. Forget Republicans. Reasonable humans. Elect them, change it, take freedom back in this country. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be here with some Big Ten governors. Always excited for that. We look forward to seeing you in basketball season. But I do look forward first to winning here in November. And I feel good. I have 4 kids. It makes you an optimist. I see all the energy that's on campus. We look at what's going on at MSU right now. We have the largest college Democrats chapter in America. As a matter of fact. And so all we need for the next 19 days is your blood, sweat, and tears. I promise you that everyone up here is giving it to you. But I promise you one thing more. It will be worth it. Because when we work, we win. Thank you all.
All right, give it up for Producer Jill, our next governor. All right, my fellow Spartans, I have a treat for you. I am joined by 4 of the nation's best governors. So, to my right, I have got Governor Shapiro from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Governor from the great state of Wisconsin. Governor from Maryland. Governor Healey from Massachusetts. I am so honored that they are joining us here in Michigan for our effort, and I wanted each of them to have a few minutes to talk with you, but I want you to know how grateful we all are that they are here. This is not a common thing to have 4 other governors come to your state to help rally people, but this is that important of an election. So with that, I'm going to invite my new best friend, all right, one of my 4 new best friends.
Governor Whitmer! Well, none of my friends have been arrested by Attorney General Dana Nessel.
Okay.
One of them have been brutalized on UPenn's campus. Why won't you condemn?
Second, about all of you. We got an election coming up where we have a clear and stark choice to make. Now, I know y'all are for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Hell, you got the camo hats on there. But I need you to go back to all of your friends here on campus and let them know the stakes of the election and just how high they are. On the one hand, you've got Kamala Harris, picking up on what the future congressman talked about. Kamala Harris, who has spent her career working to reduce gun violence in our schools and in our communities, and in Donald Trump, a guy who is bought and paid for by the NRA. That's a stark choice, and that is a clear contrast. The other hand, you got Kamala Harris, someone who wants you to be able to breathe clean air and drink pure water. And on the other side, a guy who literally denies that climate change is a real thing. On one side, Kamala Harris, who wants to restore Roe and give you back the freedoms that were taken away from you. And on the other side, Donald Trump, a guy who brags about the fact that women no longer have the freedoms that they were born with in this nation. We got a stark choice and a clear contrast. And we got to do the work right now to make sure folks understand what is at stake. And this is the second point I want to make. The task falls to each and every one of you to do this hard work. I want to give you all a little history lesson. I know I'm not an MSU professor, but we are on a college campus. I'm the governor of Pennsylvania. Yeah, you're from Pennsylvania? Bucks County, I love that. That's where my wife was from. We went on our first date there at Goodnoe Farm. I had a milkshake and cheese fries. The only guy who can eat that much dairy today is Governor Tony Evers. You've seen him do it. Here's some quick history lesson. 248 years ago, one of my predecessors, Ben Franklin, signed the Constitution of the United States in Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love and sisterly affection. It was an incomplete document. It didn't include all of us. It didn't contemplate so many of the challenges that we face today. Yet it was a document that was written to give all of us the power of self-determination. After they signed that Constitution, Franklin walked out onto the cobblestone streets of Philadelphia. He was greeted by a woman who came over to him and said, "Mr. Franklin, what do we have here, a monarchy or a republic?" Franklin looked her in the eye and said, "We have a republic if you can keep it." Those 5 words, "if you can keep it," that is our charge. It's our responsibility. And it's what our ancestors and those who came before us have taken on as their responsibility. To meet the moment, to right the wrongs, to seek a society with more justice, more fairness, more equity, and more freedom. Folks who came before us have done this work. And now it's on all of us. In an election where you've got a stark choice, in an election where our freedoms are on the line, in an election where the issues of justice are paramount, we now have a responsibility not just to elect Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, but a responsibility to do this hard work, to leave this place better for those who come after us. The test falls to all of you, and you have an outsized role in it, because Michigan, like Wisconsin, like Pennsylvania, we're the swingiest of all swing states in the nation, politically speaking, of course. And it is important for us. They got that, I think. It is on all of us right now to recognize the power we have, not just to show up to vote, but to get others to do that with us. So you got the power. You need to use it. Your ancestors are calling on you to do it. Your freedoms are calling on you to do it. And now is our moment to harness that power and get it done. So, folks, we got a lot more work to do. And that work is happening right here in Michigan, in Pennsylvania, and in Wisconsin. And it's my honor to bring up to the microphone the great governor of Wisconsin, Tony Evers.
You want to sing the on Wisconsin with me? Sure. Anyway, it's great to be here today, and I am really amazed and happy that we're with the largest STEM group, college STEM group in the country. Yeah. How about that? I mean, I would have guessed we've been here. Thank you so much. And so we have some things to learn from you, and I'll also tell you we have learned this great state. Our next election in Wisconsin is going to be obviously about Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. But because of what you've done here in Michigan, we're going to be able to do in Wisconsin. We have new maps, not gerrymandered, real people. Huge difference in the Senate, and life will be a lot better. So we learned that from you, and so thank you, Michigan, thank you, Michigan State, thank you, Governor. It's great to be here, and I have only one message, and it's this. And I don't want to insult anybody that is not a new Wall State, so bear with me. There is no question that there's going to be what the results will be in the state of New York. There's no questions about what the outcome will be in Illinois or California. That means that 322 million people are counting on you, me, and Josh, all of us. That's what the expectation is. It's going to be who wins these 3 states. And I'm really glad that the other states are doing well. We have to get this done, folks. This is absolutely critical. I know you'll do it. God bless you. Thank you.
Terrapins, we are the Big Ten, actually. We don't play like it sometimes. But it's good to be here. It's good to be in a place that actually appreciates what it means to have college spirit. And I have to tell you, I'm so grateful to be here with my fellow governors. Like, y'all understand, like, this is like the Avengers, right? What's going on? And Big Press, it is an honor to be in your state always. And listen, I know that Maryland's going to be an honorary member of the Blue Wall. Because Tony's right, man. I mean, y'all should not worry. Maryland is going to go blue. All right. So people say, so why are you out here in Michigan? Because this election matters more than you know. And Tony's right. We need you to be our proxies. We need you to be our voice. We need you to be our representation. Because what happens on November 5th is going to affect each and every one of us for generations to come. And I remember, and I'm so thankful to be here. I remember when I first started, my journey running for governor. I had never run for office in my life. I was running against statewide elected officials. I was running against cabinet secretaries. I was running against the former head of the DNC. I was running against a person that was actually sitting on my board, which made board meetings very awkward. And we started our campaign in action on college campuses, talking to students. And eventually, the crowd started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But people started paying attention, not just because the students we were talking to were just saying they pledged their vote. It's because they were using their voice. It was college students in Maryland that made sure we won that race. It will be college students who will make sure that Kamala Harris becomes the next president of the United States. Someone who has had the honor of working with her now for these 20 months, we got the right one, y'all. We got someone who is brilliant, who is collaborative, and who is tough. And I always say, I spent part of my career in the military. I led soldiers overseas in combat. And the thing that I learned is this: I never learned anything about anybody when times are easy. Because when times are easy, anybody can show me anything. If you ever want to understand anything about anybody, watch them when it was hard. Watch them when it was tough. Watch them when the heat got turned up. And did they rise or did they wither? This is a person who every single time stands up. Every single time defends us. And we need to make sure that we have a president of the United States and a vice president in Tim Walz who doesn't just see us and honor us, but someone who understands that it's not just our vote they're asking for, it is our voice. It's that we're all going to be part of the process. And it's that we do have a unique opportunity to build a country that those who came before us, that they hope for. And we have a unique chance to build a country that those who come after us, that they deserve. So when we're talking about all these rights, the ability to walk freely and safely in your neighborhoods, and making sure that we can get these weapons out of our neighborhoods and out of our communities. Have a housing policy that makes sure that we actually have a chance to actually build and buy a home and live in a neighborhood that we grew up in, and know we're not being priced out of every neighborhood that we go to. Know that we have a chance to have jobs that give us fair wages, and an opportunity to build generational wealth and pass something else to your children besides debt. Knowing we have a chance to know that our fundamental freedoms and our fundamental rights are going to be respected. There is one candidate running for president who can deliver that for us, guys. Because she's not going to do it for us. She's going to do it with us. And so this is the moment. In the military we learned we got 18 days to wake up now. 18 days to wake up until the most important day to decide the future of our country. So I know y'all got exams. I know y'all got parties. I know y'all got basketball season, football season. I get it. My simple ask is this: 18 days to wake up. Go all out. make sure you call all your friends. Make sure none of you are voting alone. Making sure we're doing everything in our power because we do not want to wake up on the morning of November 6th and say, I could have done more. We want to wake up on November 6th and say, guess what? We got the job done. I'm so thankful to be up here with my friends and these governors. And I know that while Massachusetts is probably in the same category as Maryland, it's going to be safe, again, there's a reason why the governor of Massachusetts is here too. In addition to the fact that she's bad. I mean, she is doing some amazing things in Massachusetts. But it's because we need you to be her proxy too. We need you to be her representative as well. And so I'm honored to turn the microphone over to my friend and former point guard. Current point guard. You're never a former point guard. My friend, the governor of Massachusetts, Maura Healey.
Oh my God, it's so great to be here. I gotta say, there's something to graduate, right? I walk in, and there he is. Magic, right there. Oh, you see that? Amazing. So, I grew up, I'm so old, I grew up in that era, Bird Magic, and had great respect for the Spartans, all things Spartans. Great to be here, and all of you. So great to be with all my colleagues. Sorry, I'm so damn short, you can't see it. Look, I would so this is unusual, right? You got a bunch of governors, we're on a bus, Big Rich organized this, because it matters. Because the truth is, it's not about the ads on TV. It's not about who's on cable, okay? It's not even about who's spending the most money or raising the most money. It's about the work that you all are doing and are going to do over the next 18 days. It's about the hearts you touch. It's about the reminder that you give to everybody about what's at stake for them. For them. And it's why we're going to win this election. So yeah, I come from Massachusetts. I was so confused. There was like an ocean. It's a big lake. I live on the ocean. I never seen so much water. But I'm so happy to be here with my amazing colleagues who are doing so much. And I just say a couple things. Number one, to our blue wall governors, what Governors Whitmer and Evers and Shapiro are doing and have done in their states, amazing. Protecting freedom, protecting rights, protecting access to health care, and so much more. They're incredible leaders. But I'm here to tell you that I was Attorney General, as was Governor Shapiro, during the Trump years. And time again, that man came for so many people. And he tried to undermine and strip rights and freedoms from all of us, in one form or another. We were able to hold the line. But remember, he was able to appoint judges to courts. Okay? So, we don't have that protection this go-round. And even in a state like Massachusetts, I tell folks, I can only do so much as governor. Everything is on the line here. Because the way he speaks, the way he wants to weaponize, the way he wants to retaliate, the way he wants to withhold funding, right? Say nothing of the misinformation and the chaos he's going to foment. We're all at risk here, okay? I just want you to know that, okay? Because it's so important. When we talk about access to abortion, basic freedom over one's body, that's what's at stake in this election. And if you come for somebody's body, there's nothing that you're not going to come for, right? That's why you can see it, whether you're a woman or not. It matters to all of us. It's just one example. One example. But the good news is, you have the power here. You have the power. And I see that. I've watched these guys all week. That's why they're doing the tour and making these stops in the states that will determine this election and the outcome and the future for generations of Americans. And this is where you all come in. Because you have the power tonight. When you leave, go text, go make a call, send an email, post something, okay? Anybody you grew up with, any family member that you know, anybody you ever worked for or worked with, engage and tell them. It doesn't matter. They don't have to agree with everything. We never agree with it. Even my mother doesn't agree with all of my positions. But they have to know what's at stake. You tell them, have they got a plan to go vote, and go vote for Kamala and Tim. Don't you love Tim? Yes, I know. So that's what you got to do. We know this election will be close. We know this election will be close, and that's why the work that you are doing, the outreach that you're going to do every day, promise me, just promise me, okay? And then come visit me in Massachusetts and I'll take good care of you. Every day, reach out, touch 3 people. Touch 3 people, okay? You got 18 days. We do that in this room. These are numbers that change the election. Change the election, and you guys have the power to do it. So, get out there, get with us, get after it, you know? Go back to the middle, or just like a shark race. And here, the biggest badass of them all, let's give it up for Big Rich. Go green! Go green! All right, are you caffeinated? Are you hydrated? Are you motivated? Oh, hell yes we are. There's a lot at stake in this election, as my colleagues just told you. And we have the power. It is on us how we're going to spend the next 18 days. We make that choice. And the way we vote is going to determine everyone's fate. Not just in Michigan, not just in this country, but around the world, because American leadership matters. Our fundamental rights matter. And so we've got to, every single day, touch people, as each of my colleagues have said. Pull people into this moment. Don't write anyone off. Wear them down if you have to, right? But let's get it done so that on November 6th, we can celebrate that Michigan showed up, that Michigan showed the world. We care. We are invested in this. And the leaders that we elect are going to damn right work for us, not for themselves. That they are going to answer to us, not some stakeholder lobbyists. That they are going to fight for us. And that's what this is all about. So, I'm so glad to see you here today. I am so grateful that you have given me your support over the years. This is the moment that we have all been preparing for. This is our moment to show the world what we are made of. So let's get out there, let's do the work, and then let's celebrate a new chapter in the United States of America. Thank you so much. Go green!